Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you may be, or whenever you may be watching this episode of Millionaire by Morning. However, I would like for you to really tune in to all you listeners out there, to you future millionaires, to anyone with a millionaire mindset. We have a special guest with us today who could really get your business off the ground if it's something that you're interested in. She is an expert in it. We have with us today Miss Simone Harris. She is an accomplished entrepreneur and Airbnb host with over 7 years of experience in the hospitality industry. Originally, she's from Washington, D.C. and moved to Atlanta at the young age of 21, where she began her journey in the short-term rental market. Her dedication to providing exceptional guest experiences has made her a trusted and respected host in the Airbnb community. She continues to expand her entrepreneur ventures while making a positive impact on her community. So, of course, I'd love to have her on my show because that's what we're all about. Welcome to the Millionaire by Morning Show, Simone.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be a part of this community, Millionaire by Morning. It's a pleasure. As you said, I started in the Airbnb space at the age of 23. I'm now 28 and I live in Los Angeles, California.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you started young. Would you say that you had or I guess, can we go into your background? What made you an entrepreneur and made you want to be so ambitious at a young age?
Well, just growing up, I just remember seeing my parents struggle. I was in foster care, I got adopted, and just seeing my adopted mom struggle, work a job for years, never take a vacation. And so I really just never aspired to live like that. You know, I always wanted more. I was one of those kids who just was so ambitious at a young age. And I just always knew it was more to life. And so, you know, I moved to Atlanta and home of entrepreneurship, you know, Black love, Black wealth. And that's where I got that vision in my mind, like, you know, okay, I can make something of myself here in this city.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people move to Atlanta for that exact reason. It is the home of the entrepreneur, home of the Black entrepreneur for sure.
But you know that when you say that, it's so funny because when I moved to Atlanta, I didn't really think about being an entrepreneur. Like that wasn't what I moved to Atlanta for. I moved to Atlanta to really do something entertainment, which I ended up doing later on. But entrepreneurship became my main focus when I was in Atlanta.
You know, that was going to be a question that I asked. So when you first, let's just say, graduated high school, or, you know, was 18 years old, what did you think you were going to, I guess, grow up to be? What did you aspire to be then?
Well, I always knew from a little girl I was going to be an actress. That's something you can call my friends, family. Everyone knew I wanted to be a superstar, but I just didn't know the route to take. So I kind of got pivoted, you know, went different lanes throughout after I graduated high school.
Right. Got it. And you landed on short-term rentals.
Yep, I learned. Yep, short-term Airbnb. Yep.
So, okay. So now you being in this hospitality industry, short-term rentals, if I was you speaking to me and I'm newbie and I am just green as a leaf, what would you have to say to me what were some steps that you would give me if I was interested in getting into short-term rentals?
I would first say study the market that you're in. So location matters. So if you're looking to do an Airbnb in Atlanta, you want to look near the airport. You want to look near hot spots. So Buckhead, Midtown, downtown, where there's the zoo, you know, a lot of touristy areas. That's where you want to start first. And you want to see, okay, if I get this property, can I make money at this location or not? So first you want to do your homework and see geographical locations first. And then the next step would be is to find a property. I know a lot of people, they sublet. That was a big thing during the pandemic in Atlanta. I don't always suggest that because there's so many issues that come with that. So I would say if you do decide to sublet, that will be the case where you can't purchase a property right away. To reach out to landlords and see, if they have properties available that you could potentially do short-term rental on. And then you would furnish your unit and then you'll put it on Airbnb. It's really so simple. And I used to be one of those people, so courses and classes, and you really don't need to do all that. It's kind of fundamental. You find a property, you furnish that property, and you put it on the app. It doesn't get any easier than that.
So as far as the complication of it, it's really, when we say fundamentally, I guess simple. Let's just say someone rents an apartment
Right.
close to, I'm in Dallas, the Cowboy Stadium. So you want to find something. So you want to find something close to that stadium, and then maybe rent an apartment, or
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, just if is it as simple as renting an apartment and then maybe making it look a little bit better and putting a little bit more on top of it?
It's similar, but I would say even apartments, that's where you may get the issue of subletting because a lot of apartment complexes are against short-term rental Airbnbs. So I always suggest people to find a home, or even if you do a apartment complex, to check with the property management company, the landlord, and see if short-term rental is okay. And if it's okay, then you would, find that property, furnish it, and then you would put it on the app.
Got it. And the app, the name of the app.
Airbnb. So there's a few. You have Airbnb, you have VRBO, and then you have bookings.com.
Okay. So
And Airbnb is the most popular one because it's been around for so long. And there's the thing I like about Airbnb as well is it's different things that you can put on there as well. So they have now where you can do experiences. So let's say you get a property where you want to turn it into a museum and you want to charge people $30 a day to come and view your museum at your home. You can do that. So that's why I enjoy Airbnb.
Oh, okay. All right. That's awesome. So as far as Atlanta, is it that Atlanta didn't really work out for you as far as what you wanted, or is LA part of like your dream as far as being acting and your entrepreneur dream?
Yeah, so LA is where I always wanted to be. When I was growing up, I would always say I'm going to be a famous, wealthy, A-list Hollywood, Oscar, and Emmy-winning actress. And so I would say that mantra every single day. God is my witness. So I always wanted to live in Hollywood, and so I made that happen last year. But also Atlanta, you kind of I outgrew Atlanta. With the crime rate going up, I just didn't feel safe there. I just always felt so paranoid and at edge, like any given time something could happen. And we're going to take a turn. But I was in the middle of a shootout when I was living in Atlanta. And this was actually when I was contemplating on whether I should move or not. And I was coming home one day at my apartment complex, luxury in Buckhead, and some guys were shooting. And if they didn't look at me and see I was getting out of my car, I would have gotten hit. So I was like, you know what? This is my time to really make that pivot and change locations and really follow my dreams.
Right. Sometimes you get a little birdie. You get a warning.
Yep. Don't ever get too comfortable anywhere. That's why I tell people, don't ever get too comfortable.
I get people laugh at me, but it's the honest, it's just honest out of me because I just don't know. But I don't know the difference between Bankhead and Buckhead. And see, that's the reaction I get.
Because it's not no difference. Nowadays, it's no difference. It's now like 6, 7, 8 years ago, it was a clear difference.
Okay.
Very clear difference. But now, even in Bankhead, you got people walking their dogs. It's getting gentrified now. So
really,
it's getting a little better. Yeah.
Yeah. I like to go down there every now and again. Maybe they have an Invest Fest coming up. I may go to that again. That was pretty fun.
Oh, yep. Invest Fest is good with all the entrepreneurs coming
Mhm.
together, and I like that for Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really neat. So now you're in LA. When you went out to LA, you say a year ago?
Yes. So it's been a year and 4 months now.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So when you went out there, did you pick up on the entrepreneurship out there? You know, moving to a different place, people act different, they move differently. So were you able to jump right in and, you know, start with your business and entrepreneurship there in LA?
So my Airbnbs are actually still in Atlanta, and I had to make a pivot as well. So instead of doing short term, I transitioned into long term. So they're still on the app, but instead of doing nightly rentals, you have to book 30 days. So a month. So I come back and forth, but I also have a property management company that assists me. So everything is automated, from keyless door locks, keyless entryways. My cleaning company, they have a code to get in to clean when guests leave out. They actually come weekly. So I'm able to be here in LA and follow my dreams, whereas my business for Airbnb is still functioning very smoothly.
Okay. All right. That's all, man. That's the wonderful thing about it. It allows you to be able to up and move and still, you know, be making your
Yeah.
coins.
Yeah,
Um,
but it wasn't always easy. I don't even think I told you how I got into Airbnb.
let's talk about
Okay, so when I first moved to Atlanta, I was like 21, 22. I was very young. And I had a roommate who was my friend from back home in Washington, D.C. And she was going to Georgia State at the time. And she had a friend, and her friend was going to Georgia State as well. And we allowed her friend to come and live with us. It was like three of us. So I think at the time the rent was like 1,100. So divide that by three. Easy. You know, we all knew out here, we were all young. We could pay this in our sleep. So we was living it up. But her friend ended up one day taking the rent money and never coming back again.
Wow.
We never saw her again. My best friend was already planning on moving back home to DC because she was finishing school back home in DC. And so her friend took the rent money. My best friend was leaving. Her friend took the rent money. And I'm stuck here downtown Atlanta because that's where my first Airbnb was. But a 2-bedroom apartment. Didn't know no one, didn't know what to do. And I'm like, okay, I have to pay rent next month. And I was going to have to pay it by myself because they both just left. So that's where I was like, okay, Airbnb. I looked into it. Somebody told me about Airbnb. I looked into the app. I'm like, okay, I'm in a good location right by the Benz Stadium, State Farm Arena. And I put 1 bedroom on there just to see how it would do. I was able to pay my rent with that 1 bedroom. So I said, okay, if I could pay my rent with that 1 bedroom, then I'll put both of them on there, which I did. And I turned my living room into a studio apartment. So I was living in my living room, renting out both bedrooms at the time. And I was just cash flowing. And I was like, okay, this is good. I can double up and, go get my next one.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you kind of fell into Airbnb.
Yeah, I had no other choice too. It wasn't like I just wanted to do Airbnb because it was something to do. I had no other choice. I didn't know what to do with the 2-bedroom apartment. I have to pay rent. I didn't know. Yep.
Oh, okay. Stumbled up on it. That's pretty cool. That's a cool story. So now it's helping you out.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But I tell people you have to make a sacrifice. Like I'm sitting here in my living room, people coming in at 3 or 4 in the morning. I don't know them from a can of paint. I don't know these people. They just book on the app. And at the time, I was just like, anybody can come anytime. You can check in at any time. Now is you can check in between this time frame, this time frame.
Right.
But at the time, I just needed that money, and it worked out for me.
So I've heard of that called house hacking.
House hacking.
Okay. All right. So, man, that's a good idea for the rates that houses are right now.
Yeah, that's why I tell people, if you could buy a house, rent out each room, and you live in one of the houses, pay your mortgage off, cash flow, that's house hacking. That would make
Yeah.
sense. I always tell people that should be your starter. If you're gonna get your first house, that's how you should do your first property.
Oh, definitely, definitely. That makes sense because I mean, they would literally be paying for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so I guess let's talk future ventures. What's in the works as of in the future?
Okay, so I've been speaking with some investors. I want to get into the apartment complex, buying apartments. I kind of was in that space a little bit with my ex-boyfriend. He's heavy into that. So I kind of learned the business and the business model, but I'm building up a team so that we can all come in, put out money together, put out credit together and purchase. Cause that's a hefty price tag.
Definitely. Um,
Yeah.
so you and the team, it'll be considered maybe an investment fund.
Right. Cause it's going to be a couple of different investors and we're just going to all invest together.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So the apartments don't matter where the apartment's at. Is this I guess would it be a fix and flip type of deal or a whole type of deal to where you literally have tenants now throughout the apartments?
Well, it just all depends on what deal we can come across. So if we can do a buy and hold, that would be great. I really don't want to do any fix and flips.
Yeah.
I want to stay away from that. I want to buy something, hold on to it, build that wealth up, and then, go from there. Keep doing it over and over again.
Right. Real estate is where it's at. You said the
Yeah.
word wealth. If you want to build wealth.
Yes. And real estate, that's the way to go.
That's the way to go. I have this show is about a lot about mindset and where people mindsets are at the moment. They turn a switch. They turn a switch on and say that they didn't want to go in a certain direction, or they just nowadays, my show is called Millionaire by Morning, and the reason it's called that is because a lot of people don't realize that there's not going to be any more middle class the way that it used to be. So we should start thinking about, we need to be at least making $1 million or above, so kind of changing people's mindset based on that. So would you say that as far as your mindset is concerned, when you wanted to be an actor, when that was your dream, is it just that you wanted the finer things and that's what would have brought you the finer things?
That's
Did you
a
tie
good
money
question.
into it?
I like that you asked that question because I kind of think about that sometimes, but it's also like I was a young girl when God gave me that vision. So I don't know how much it has to do with money because I didn't know how much some people were making. Like when I say I had this vision at a very, very young age where I'm talking, I'll be online applying to modeling agencies, applying to different TV shows, not even realizing that they're not about to accept me because I'm a little girl. They wanted grown women, reality shows and stuff. So I do know that when it comes to entertainment, you can make a lot of money. And I do want the finer things in life. I've always been one of those dream big. I'm really having to manifestation. So if I say I want something, I'm going to go and get it. So I definitely do feel like wealth and money is tied to what I do. And I just have a passion for acting. Like it's something that I really enjoy doing because it allows me to be able to express all different types of emotions and feelings and bring it to life.
Yeah, definitely. I like that you said that because it's all about passion. Passion brings the money regardless.
And that's why, before I moved to before I moved to LA, I was just doing so many different things. Like I I know how to make money. That's one thing I can do. So I was doing so many different things, but then before I moved to LA, it's just like, am I doing what really makes me happy? You know, am I doing what God, the vision that God had gave me? Am I really achieving that? And I had to be real with myself, and I was like, no,
Right.
I'm doing all this different stuff that's just, I can make money from it, but I'm not following my dreams and I'm not following my passion. And I feel like if you don't follow your passion and your dreams, it's only so far you can go in life.
Yeah.
You can make some money, but you want to make the money you really want to make is by you following your passion and dreams. That's just my spill.
That's a nugget. That's a nugget. You just dropped a nugget. I have a lot of coaches on here, meditation coaches, mindset coaches, and they say exactly what you just said. So it's so much truth into that. You did just mention manifestation. You do a lot of manifestation. That's part of some things that we talk about too. When you're ready to really, like, what is your process when you're really ready to get into your bag? Is it affirmations? Do you just take time out, 10 minutes, or what is your manifestation process?
I get into a meditation state. I also journal. So I journal every day. I'm a part of this like manifestation group here in LA, and I actually just came in first place, but like the most person, it's like 30, 40 of us, and we have to journal every day. We have an accountability group. And so I just came in first place for being the person who journals every single day. And so journaling helps me. I got my whiteboards right here. But also I get off social media when I know I have to really get into my bag. Like I need to, focus, lock in. I will delete all my social medias. So don't be surprised if one day you see I'm just like not on there. But I'll get off just so I can focus and lock in and be present and not just be sitting there scrolling in the meantime, between time. So I say my affirmations. I do a lot of mirror work. So I'll stand in the mirror and, I'm grateful, I'm deserving, I'm worthy. But I also do a lot of energy work, clearing that stuck energy in our body, because people don't realize that we hold on to a lot of trauma that's stuck into us for years, because trauma is in your body, not just in your mind. So
yeah, that's the reason for the manifestation.
yeah.
Centering yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. So you have the business, you have your mindset, manifestation. The reason and all of these M words that you hear me speaking about is basically a process that I take people through. And if you can kind of get all of these things in order, then you would see your life go in a new direction. And so mindset, meditation, movement.
Yes.
Do you movement, not only like working out, but traveling and getting a different mindset? When the last vacation you took, where was it to?
My last vacation was to Mexico. I mean, I'd go in between like Vegas, Atlanta, Dallas, but my last vacation was Mexico. I went there probably back in June, the beginning of June or May. It was like between May and June. And so I'm really big into traveling as well, because that helps expand your mind.
Yeah.
See different cultures. It helps me with gratitude, just being grateful, because when I go to different places, I don't like just being in like the luxury, wealthy places. I like to go to the slums. I like to speak to locals and hear their stories. That's just how I've always been. I get stimulated by knowledge and learning. So I have to constantly be learning something in order for me to feel like I'm growing.
That's great. That's a great answer, because that's exactly what it does and what it's supposed to do. Just kind of expand your mind. And it's a beautiful thing to see those other places and how other people live.
Yep. And that's why I was like, people I grew up with who don't travel, who don't go nowhere, it's like I just can't relate to that, because I need to explore. I need to get lost and figure my way out, that's just how I operate.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, that's great to hear. You can definitely see the differences between the two people. those that do
Yes.
travel and those that don't. That's a definite.
Yeah. Some people are like, I'm scared to get on the airplane. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, what? We have marketing. What do you do to market yourself, brand yourself, or your business? How I know social media is one, but could you go just a little bit into that?
So for a long time, well, when it comes to like my Airbnb business or just me in general, what
Just you in general you know, you in general as being a business person, entrepreneur.
okay, gotcha. So I used to be one of those people who used to post constantly on the internet, branding, PR. I used to do all of that. But when I stepped away from just being that businesswoman who was in like survival mode, because that's how I felt like I was when I was in Atlanta. Felt like I was trapped and I was in survival mode and just not doing what I really wanted to do to make me happy. I would have like PR, I would be posting often, I would do interviews, I would go to different networking events to put myself out there to meet other entrepreneurs. I would host events and collaborate with other successful entrepreneurs. But because I'm not really focused on that per se as much now, and I'm focused on my acting career, it's a little different.
Okay. Got it. Well, and with all of that culminated, everything that you're doing, would you say that you're at a point right now that you're having momentum?
Oh, for sure. Yes. Yes. I do feel like I'm having momentum. I've been in LA for a year now, and I've been on TV shows, movies, commercials. So I'm like, okay, it's only going to go up from here. If I
Yeah,
can do what I did in 1 year, I can keep doing the same thing over and over again. Repetition.
that's what's up. When the momentum start, I like to call it, you know, you're looking at an avalanche. Watch out.
Yeah.
It's coming.
But I'm also a transparent person and know that we go through seasons in life too.
Yeah.
And so I just got out of a season where I wasn't mentally there. Like June and July, it was like the worst I've had in years. But I needed to go through that because I was able to grow through that, and it helped me prepare myself for this next season that I'm going through.
Right.
So
Definitely. As long as you have, that's kind of like why I live by these pillars that I'm mentioning now, because if I can, you know, it's a setback, but if you can come right back to center and get right back, you know, to what you were doing, then, you know, you're just going to gain a little bit more momentum every time.
yeah, and it's always a test, and I always tell people too that you have to go through these things in life to help you grow. Because if we never went through anything, if the seasons never changed, then we'll just all be the same. We'll all be comfortable. But when you go through them seasons, I've been learning about who I am, what I like, what I don't like. I've been picking up hobbies. I meditate 3 times a day. I do breath work. I'm in a manifestation group. So I'm doing things other than just like, okay, I have to make money all day, or I have to just be working all day, So I'm very happy in this new season that I'm going into.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
2024. I just want to put a timestamp on this interview. So next time I circle around and interview you after you have gotten your Grammy award, or was it an Oscar?
My Oscar and Emmys.
Oscar and Emmys. Then after that interview, I'll be like, back in 2024. So how can people find you, Simone?
So you can follow me on Instagram, the Simone Harris, TikTok, the Simone Harris. Those are my only 2 platforms that I kind of use. So and I'll follow you guys back if I find that we can connect.
Yes. I know, not just everybody now.
Right.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on this show. This has been a really insightful conversation. I like the fact that, like, the answers, everything that you mentioned, that was anyone that's listening to this, follow those same steps. Like you have really given my crowd of people something to, I like to say that when people come on this show to leave actionable steps, you have definitely done that from, your mindset to reaching momentum. So I want to thank you very much, Simone, for that.
Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure. I look forward to connecting with you as well. Maybe we can work together. I'm interested in connecting with your community. I love the Millionaire by Morning. I think that's what we need in our community. So I'm very
Definitely.
grateful for the opportunity.
Definitely. We'll definitely keep in touch. I think I've added you on my socials.
Okay.
I've followed you on yours. If not, I will. And
Okay.
I'm interested in your investment group and what all that entails. And what I'm trying to do, I can just tell you now, what I'm trying to do is marry a bunch of my guests with basically investors with creatives. So there's plenty of opportunity based on just something as simple as doing a podcast, meeting people, networking.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah, we'll
Do you
definitely
guys
keep
have
in
like
touch.
a community like WhatsApp or Telegram group where it's a group where a community, I would say?
So we do. I have a forum. I'm building an entire website where it's a forum and everything for that information, and
Okay.
also WhatsApp. But I have a partner that's in Dubai, and we're dealing in Dubai with investors and stuff over there now, and moving that business over here to America, with totally starting over here.
Oh,
So
that's amazing.
yeah, it's working
So,
out well. I can send you I can send you the Dubai website, and we have a WhatsApp even if you want to look into that.
oh, perfect. I would definitely love to look into that.
Okay, okay. All right. Well, I'll send you an email, or I think I have your phone number, so I'll keep in touch.
Okay. Thank you so much. It was nice meeting you.
You too, Simone. You have a
Thank you,
great night.
Rashad.
All
Thank
right,
you.
good
You
night.
too.